What's up, everybody? Yeah, come on in. What's up, Joanna? What's up, Portia? What's up, Alexis? What's up, everybody? Yeah, come on in. Yeah, come on in. What's up, William? What's up, third son? What's up, Lynn? What's up, honey? Yeah, come on in. All right, we'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. What's up, Dorothy? What's up, Alexis? What's up, Orieka? What's up, Black Dynamite? All right. How about we begin? Now, title of this lecture is Orishas Are Us. Let's discuss the secrets of our melinated gods. Well, first and foremost, we have to ask ourselves, who are the Orishas? They are deities that were created by the Yoruban people of Nigeria through their spiritual system called Ifa, also known as Voodoo over here, and various other names that y'all know and love. It will go on in the Caribbean, say like Jamaica is Obeah. In our Latin community, it would be Candomblé, Lacumia, and various other ones, Macumba, and all the rest of them. So yeah, just a few names for this spiritual system that has taken the world by storm. Right now, these Orishas manifested for a reason. You see what I'm saying? They manifested for a reason. And as far as helping us with a lot of things down here, first and foremost, the Orishas are you and you are them. Thus the term Orishas are us. Next would be the Orishas have what you like to call different abilities. You need different aspects or different internal forces that they represent. Be it you got Orishas for fire, you got Orishas for earth or lower, as they also called. Orishas, depending on where you at in the world. So they go by many names. So you got them for all the fundamental forces in nature. And so of course you are nature, so you have those fundamental forces inside you. So let's get it. So let's go over. Let's get a brief rundown of who they are, and then we're gonna get into it. Hold on. Let's get into it.
Mythology, and today we're going to finish up our look at pantheons with African gods. Now, some Crash Course fans are already scratching their head. Bangos is not Africa. There is no one African mythology or pantheon, just like there's no single Native American or Asian mythology. There are similarities in the stories of different groups, but no one consistent family of gods. So this episode is going to focus on an African people with a well-documented set of deities, the Yoruba of Western Africa. In particular, we're going to look at their pantheon of Orishas and one very wise chameleon. Yoruba is a language and a term used to describe the people who speak it. Yoruba people live in the region around the Bight of Benin in the countries that are now Benin, Togo, Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. These regions are important. They're home to millions of Africans and were also centers of the African slave trade, meaning Yoruba traditions traveled from Africa to the Caribbean, Latin America, and North America. Some of these traditions have been modified and translated into the set of practices called Vodou in Haiti. Probably you know them best as voodoo. Vodun is a word in the Fon language that means spirit. Yoruba myths, however, are not the equivalent of Vodou, and most Vodou cults are actually a lot less intense than what you've seen in, like, horror movies and stuff. The Yoruba region is currently home to many religions, including Christianity and Islam, and the fact that the Yoruba people have maintained their Orisha stories in the face of other religious traditions is a testament to the power and importance of this cultural heritage. The Orisha stories are similar in this way to the Native American myths. Okay, now let's meet the teams. Orishas are the gods and semi-divine heroes of Yoruba culture. According to Alex Kwako, there are countless deities in the Yoruba pantheon of Orishas, and each one of them, in one way or another, has accomplished deeds whereby the ancestors thought it was worthwhile to include them in their oral traditions of storytelling, known as Itan. Out of the hundreds of Orishas, there are a dozen or so that feature prominently in the myths, not unlike the 12 Olympians. First, there's Olorun, aka Olodumare, sometimes hyphenated. He's the great Sky Father, a dad, and ultimately responsible for the creation of world order. Then there's Eshu, the trickster. He, like many tricksters, represents accident and the uncertainty of life. We'll look at him more closely in a later episode. Ogun is the giver of iron, who is also a hunter and a warrior. Like in the Greek pantheon, not all gods pair monogamously. Ogun had lovers, including Oya. Oranmiyan, a son of Ogun, is another warrior and also a fertility god of sorts, being the creator of dry land and the shaper of infants before their birth. So if you know someone having a sonogram, tell them about Oranmiyan. That's his handiwork. Olokun is the god or goddess of oceans, and Olosa is the goddess of lagoons. So I imagine there are some arguments over who has jurisdiction over inlets. As with other pantheons, some Orishas have dominion over natural phenomena as well. The Orisha thunder god is Shango, who is also the same as Oramfe. Zeus, Thor, and Shango should meet up sometime. I bet the conversation would be electrifying. I'll just see myself out. Okay, alright. Onile is the goddess of earth's soil, and there's also Oko, the god of fields, farms, and agriculture. Oya is the goddess of winds and the Niger River. She's one of Shango's wives. Orungan is the god of air. He's the son of Aganju, god of the wilderness, and Yemoja, goddess of the river Ogun. And it's not all positive phenomena either. Obaluaye is the god of smallpox, disease, and death, so I bet he's a real treat at parties. You might have noticed that there's some overlap in divine responsibility. When myths exist mostly as oral traditions and come from such a huge and diverse geographic region, a certain amount of redundancy is pretty normal. We saw this in the Egyptian pantheon, too. For instance, multiple Orishas are considered warrior gods, and others seem to control aspects of the human condition. Ori is the god of individuality and fate, while Iwa is the goddess of character. A number of Orishas relate to regional geography, like forests, particular rivers, and hunting. And some represent seemingly hyper-specific but key aspects of African life, such as Ogion, the god of crushed cassava. Now that is a god who I bet is a real treat at a party. And just for you history fans out there, this shows that not all Orishas have ancient origins. Cassava was introduced to Africa as part of the Columbian Exchange. Other than Sky Dad Olorun, the most important Orisha is his oldest son, Orunmila, the god of wisdom and divination. According to Leonard and McClure, Orunmila, by reading pine nuts and cowries, communicates Olorun's irreversible intentions and therefore personifies fate. So think of that the next time you're having pesto. Many of the Orisha myths feature Orunmila, including the one that explains how the Orishas got their powers. Oh yeah, let's the thought bubble. The Orishas lived on Earth, and before they each had unique powers, they were equals. Whenever they needed some special knowledge, they would ask Olorun or Orunmila for help. One day, an Orisha named Oko wondered why he should have to do that. He thought that if he had a special knowledge of a certain thing, then people could ask him and not have to hassle Orunmila. So Oko asked Orunmila for special powers to distinguish him from humans. Ogun also asked Orunmila for special power to keep the world going. Soon, all the Orishas wanted powers. Orunmila was distressed. He held all the Orishas in equal esteem. He thought, there are many powers to be shared. To whom should I give one power or another? One day, he went for a walk and met Agemo, the chameleon, who asked Orunmila what was wrong. Orunmila explained, and Agemo responded, perhaps it would be best to leave the distribution to chance. Return to the sky, then send messengers to announce that on such and such a day, you will pour the powers down on the earth. Let each Orisha catch what he can, or retrieve it from the place where it falls. Whatever power an Orisha collects in this way will be his. By sending your messengers, you will have given everyone equal notice, and no one can say, Orunmila neglected me. Orunmila followed this advice. When he sent out the messengers, the Orishas said, Orunmila does a good thing. Thank him for us. We will receive what he rains down on us. 5 days later, the powers fell from the sky. The Orishas waited in the fields and ran to catch them. They weren't all equally fast, strong, or persistent, so not all were able to get as large or desirable a portion of Orunmila's bounty, but everyone got something. Thanks, Thought Bubble. So, man, I love this origin story. It explains how the Orishas came to have their roles. Unlike the Greek Olympians, who were seemingly born with their attributes, the Orishas, while not exactly human, don't have any special abilities or knowledge until Orunmila rains them down. And after he does, they're not all equal in their abilities, explaining why some Orishas have a lot of power and why some just get to make really delicious side dishes. Think about Orunmila for a second. He seems to be all-powerful. He could easily assign special characteristics to Orishas as he sees fit, thus increasing his influence over them. Or he could just ignore them altogether. He's powerful. Why help these noobs? But no, not only does he distribute divine favors, but attempts to be fair in the process, providing a lesson for how humans, and especially rulers, should behave. And despite his own power, Orunmila can't solve his problem without the help of a very wise chameleon, demonstrating the fallibility of Orishas and the connection between their world and the world of animals. Animals play a big role in many African stories, and we're going to see more on that in a later episode. This story echoes another Orisha myth, featuring Olorun, that explains the human condition. In this story, Olorun responds to the humans of the first city, Ile-Ife, who demand inequality. As one man claimed, there's nothing that is unequal among us, and there is nothing to differentiate us. We speak the same language, we live in the same town, we each own equal amounts of possessions. No one among us has more than any other, and yet no one has less than anyone else. There's absolutely no variety in anything in our lives. Why is it that we are all the same? Like Orunmila, Olorun didn't want to give in to the humans' demands. He knew that differences between people would lead to strife. He sent Eshu to explain this, but the people of Ile-Ife wouldn't listen, and eventually Olorun relented. He sent Eshu to hand out differences to people in the marketplace, and whoa, big surprise here, chaos ensued. People complained about their individual differences. One woman saying, why are men treating us so badly? And another, why are they acting superior to us? So the next time someone makes a sexist comment, blame Eshu. But also the person making the sexist comment too. Chaos and war were bred from Olorun's inequality. Eventually, the people couldn't even get along with each other, and they had to leave Ile-Ife. This caused the formation of new nations, tribes, cities, and kingdoms, and according to the story, in this manner, inequality prevailed among the people of Earth. This story is a direct echo of the origins of the Orishas' powers and shows just how similar the gods and humans are. As with the other pantheons we've seen, gods in human form have human frailties, which may make them more relatable as objects of worship, but also makes it easier to criticize them or see them as fallible. Perhaps this helps explain why much of the world that worships a divine being has chosen to put its faith in a power that, for the most part, eschews human form and human emotions. But can they make delicious cassava? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Check out our Crash Course Mythology tote bag, and
So y'all can see, As y'all can see, the Orishas are probably the most closest to us than any other pantheon of beings on the planet. See what I'm saying? Pantheon of beings on the planet. So, let's get it here. Let's get it. What is Ifa? Ifa is the mother spiritual system of the Yoruban people, and it's the original system from which Vodun and all other magical systems of its kind spawn from. What does Ifa mean? Ifa means supreme one or supreme vision. And then you got Orunmila. He told you about Orunmila. So I'm going to show you a picture of him. There you go. Here's Orunmila. African deity of wisdom, divination, and foresight, like he said. So, he told you Vodun means spirit or deity. What does the word Orisha mean? It means Ori. Ori literally means the head or crown. Spiritually means Ori Inu, which is the invisible head crown, which is your seat of cosmic consciousness. And it represents the position of your soul. Yeah, it represents the position of your soul that determines personal destiny. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. So Ori is talking about this up here. And it's talking about your soul and spiritual connection as well. And how you advance or ascend into this cosmic level of consciousness. See what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. So now, let's talk about it. So, what is an Orisha? They are a complex, multidimensional collective force that links people, places, objects, powers, ideas, and memories together to form an interconnected consciousness. Oh yeah. So, what made them come to America? Let's see what's going on here. What made them come to America of all places? Well, they tell you this in American Gods, why they came to America. Check it out.
The founders believed in a creator who endowed every individual with equality and freedom. America was conceived around that truth, and the Declaration was an oath to that creator. A solemn promise that this new government would ensure the divine rights of its citizens, life, liberty, and a shot at happiness. But the new government was overrun with debt. Furious debate roiled the Continental Congress, God-given rights versus materialism. Commerce carried the day, and the young country was on its way to becoming the richest corporation in history. In the process, America betrayed its oath to the Creator. Economic growth was spurred by the whip and remained in the hands of the slave masters and their investors. The wealth generated by King Cotton was everywhere. The nation now prayed at the altar of commerce. But the spirit did not abandon those who had been enslaved, who brought their African gods, the Orishas, with them to the New World.
That's weird. Hold on. So they traveled over here for a reason. To do work. Because they knew that this was where everything would be transformed and reborn. So let's see what they got going on here.
On the Orishas, the land of the ancestors. Show the people that I is not me. I is we. We is power. You are my beloved. I am Asher. I will uphold you in your courage to carry life forward. I am Yamoja, the water. When the burden is too great, you rest in my arms. I am Aye, the earth beneath you. You bleed upon me, and I bleed upon you. The time will come when we rise together as one. Justice does not sleep. Righteousness comes from the hand of the divine. Power of the master diminishes. Those of us who have been enslaved, our soul force raised from the dust. May the optimism of tomorrow be your foundation for today. And I is we, and we is power, and we are powerless if we just become nothing but you and they. May peace be in your heart, and may Orishas lead your way. With the blessing of the one love, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
So there y'all go. The Orishas came to America to assist everyone in the struggle for freedom. And you're going to see more of this. Let's continue here. Who is the head deal of Orishas? Olodumare is the supreme being who created the Orishas and sent them to Earth. Mother Earth is Aye, represents the Mother Earth energy. You see what I'm saying? To help assist Earthlings on their path to spiritual enlightenment and freedom. Right? I don't know if he was able to see his picture, so I'm going to show you a picture that I thought was dope. There's a, oh yeah, that's bright. Hold on. There's a dope picture of him that I like. So now, this makes the Orishas aspects of Olodumare. So when working with one Orisha, you are essentially working with the Supreme One by default. The Orishas then became mediators, connectors between the earthly people, Ayans, and the spiritual / soul realms, which is known as Orun in the European traditions. Orun is the soul / spiritual realms. Now, what is Ashe? Ashe is the life force that flows through all things, both living and inanimate. Over here we know it as the force. You see what I'm saying? How does Ashe work for us? When a person learns to tap into their life force through sacred prayers, dance, internal movements, affirmations, chants, etc., then one arouses the life force in them to move it, harness it, and wield it to perform the spiritual To perform a spiritual task, you need you need accomplished. You see what I'm saying? You need accomplished. So this is what you got going on here. So how do we use our Ashe to connect to the Orishas? We channel our Ashe life force / life power into our psychic senses, which opens us up to the lower dimensions, allowing us to get in contact with the Orishas of our choice. You see what I'm saying? So let me show y'all an example of that. We're gonna go to Be a Quiz Awakening one more time and explore that context a little bit more. Let me write it up for y'all.
Be free. I am trapped in here like an animal. That is why we have come.
Okay. That's even brighter than I thought.
Bill Sanders. Where'd you take him? The last person he saw.
Come on now.
So you must know where he is. You are a giver. You are a giver of life.
Man, that shit still bright. Hold on, yeah.
You must know where it is. You are a giver.
There we go.
You are a giver of life. You are a giver. You are a giver of life. Your eyes are clear, but you can't see the truth yet. Sit still. Remember all the unknown. No has your hand. I do. Then let the earth and water support you, as they always have. You have had this power all along. You can reclaim it now. With the power of the weak. Stop. Your eyes are clear. No has your hand. But you can't see the truth yet. May the optimism of tomorrow be your foundation for today. And if we must wait for the amazing salvation, may your temporary forever feel much less than today. And I, as we and we as power, we are powerless, and we just become nothing but you and they. May peace be in your heart. May your reasons lead your way. Lead the way.
So there y'all go. When all else failed, she returned home back to her Orishan homettes because nothing else was working. And so she returned back to the original forces that she spawned from. Because, Bilquis is a Sumerian goddess. So, Queen Makeda, Queen of Sheba, right? So, yeah, she returned back home and tapped back into the three forces. Aya, earth, Yemiya, water, and Oshun, love. Love of oneself. Both mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, and soulfully. So yeah, let's continue here. Is it true that we have a guardian Orisha? The answer is yes. Everyone has an Orisha, spiritual force, that their Ashe, life force, naturally aligns with. How do you get in contact with your guardian Orisha? This is a meditative exercise for y'all. Check this out. Imagine yourself sitting in your internal temple. It manifests differently for everyone. You are sitting in lotus position in front of a golden chalice, which has purple fire projecting out of it. This is the purple flame of Ori Enun, cosmic consciousness. As you open your eyes and begin to stare into the purple flame with the desire to know your guardian Orisha, an image of the Orisha appears in the purple flame, and out of it comes a piece of paper with the name of your guardian Orisha, your guardian Orisha written on it. So there you go. So, and then you look at the name, and then you just look up what Orisha is, what their abilities are. You can do your offerings to them, so on and so forth. The usual. You can go from there. But yes, all of us have a guardian Orisha that we are aligned with. So yeah. So one more time for just put it on record. Imagine yourself sitting in your internal temple. Everyone's internal temple manifests differently. You are sitting in lotus position in front of a golden chalice, which has purple fire projecting out of it. This is the purple flame of Ori Enun, cosmic consciousness. As you open your eyes and begin to stare into the purple flame with the desire to know your guardian Orisha, an image of the Orisha appears in the purple flame, and out of it comes a piece of paper with the name of your guardian Orisha written on it. And you take that information and do what you need to do to get in contact and connect with your guardian Orisha. What do guardian Orishas do? They are the energy that you will work with for pretty much for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? So they are Orishas who you will work with pretty much for the rest of your life, for the most part. So what I mean by that is, how in Christian mythology they say you got a guardian angel. Well, in other mythologies they say you got this and that. Well, in our world we got guardian Orishas that will work with us and help us for the rest of our lives. Like my guardian Orisha is Shango. See what I'm saying? Storm god. So everybody has that. And so even if you want to tap more into the system and everything, I believe that everybody should know their guardian Orisha. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to get more formal training, you can holler at Babalaos and various other Ifin and Vodun priests around the world. You want to connect with them and do the work, cool. Do the work, cool. So, you can develop a system, or you can freestyle it, whatever your choice. It's your path. It's your path to do whatever you want to do. So yeah, who are the 7 African powers, Orisha? Now, when we say 7 African powers, they are actually 7 of the fundamental forces of the world. You see what I'm saying? Of the world and of the cosmos. So let's get it. They are Ogun, the warrior energy, Oya, the wind energy, the air energy, Yemiya, the water energy, Shango, the storm and fire energy, Obatala, the sky weaver of the sky father / weaver of bodies, because he created the human body, right? And then you got Oshun, the love energy, right? And finally you have what I like to say, the 7th African deity changes from time to time, but I think it should be Aya, since we all live on Earth. So it should be Mother Earth. That's the 7th energy. So yeah. So yeah. Now, The 7 African powers are essentially the 7 cosmic forces that reside in your melanin, which is that dark jazzy intelligence inside of you. During our down cycle, what is the purpose of the Orisha? The purpose of the Orisha is to help us work towards freedom through spiritual awakening, ascension, and enlightenment. Well, once you gain these things, you are ready to do the work. So a lot of people say the work, and most people don't really explain what they mean by the work. So what is the work? The work is basically your journey of the hero that you must take to create change first in yourself. Gain as much spiritual consciousness and awareness as possible, and then you are able to spread that spiritual light all across the world. You see what I'm saying? In whatever way you choose to do it. Whatever way you choose to do it, whether it's through artistry, whether it's through science, whether it's through martial arts, whether it's through teaching, whatever your gift is. You see what I'm saying? Whatever your good gift is. So let's continue here. This in turn will create a paradigm shift on the planet, causing the world to transform into something new. So now, what should your as the individual's personal objective be when it comes to working with the Orishas? The objective is to gain enough spiritual consciousness to where your soul upgrades itself to become your own Orisha, deity, who is a living, breathing earthly deity that exists right here on the physical plane at this present time. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, at this present time. So what do I mean by that? There are levels of consciousness, right? You know, you have the baby stages when you first awakening. Then you continue to work and continue to work. Then you kind of stabilize in your path. Then you continue to work. Then you have that Kundalini awakening. You even continue to work more and more. You even have a full body Kundalini awakening later on down the timeline. So you are upgrading from level to level to level until you become that deity. You see what I'm saying? That earthly deity here on this plane. You know, you realize that you that God. You realize who you are. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on. So check this out. I ain't gonna have y'all watch the whole trailer, just the last half of it, so y'all can see what I mean. Come on now. There we go. Like I said, I ain't gonna have y'all watch this whole trailer. This last 30 seconds of it.
You must choose which way your destiny unfolds. Where you headed? You have no idea who I am. I am a god.
They didn't even put that in the show, by the way. They took that part out. Where he had that realization that he was a god. So yeah, they did some whole other shit with the actual season. But y'all heard that in my American God season 3. But yes, I am a God, as he said. You have no idea who I am. I am a God. That's basically what he was saying here. After you become an Orishas deity, what's next? Now you have been granted the divine rights to help other people find the deity within them. Just like Master Yoda did with Luke Skywalker. Perfect example. You see what I'm saying? So everybody has this gift, this opportunity to become this living, breathing, earthly deity if they so choose to pick up the torch and walk the path. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it is to work with the Orishas. This is what it is to walk this path. And as y'all notice, a lot of the people who work with this energy, they are a lot happier versus, working with the Greek guys or the Norse energy because they look like you. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Will? What's up, Orlando? They look like you, right? So that in and of itself changes the energy versus looking at white guys all day. You see what I'm saying? You've been looking at white guys since you was a kid. Jesus, Zeus, Thor, everybody that they portray to you most of the time is white. You see what I'm saying? So that fucks with your energy because it's kind of a cognitive dissonance in a way because you like, damn, where the melanated guys at? You see what I'm saying? Where the Orishas, where the Nidoru, where the Anunnaki at? You see what I'm saying? We never really get those energies. So that's why I showed y'all the American guys. Because they actually portrayed, them on the actual show, which is rare. You rare to get that. You see what I'm saying? So you rare to get the Nidoru or the Anunnaki in any place. So even though they fucked the season up entirely, there were, like I said, key points. Like they said, you have a choice, Shadow Moon. Which path will you choose? Will you choose your mother's side and the Orishas, or will you choose your father's side? And these Arcanic white Norse guys. You see what I'm saying? The choice is yours. You have that option. So which path will you choose? So yes, the Orishas inside of you are the cosmic forces. And they said what? We are the we. The we does what? It begets the one. You see what I'm saying? The we, all your internal cosmic forces, come together in your third eye and becomes the one. And then y'all do what? Y'all rise in consciousness out of your crown chakra, because you're supposed to come out of your chakras. You see what I'm saying? So this is what they dealing with here when we dealing with the Orishas. That's why I say all Orishas are us and we are them. So this is what they not telling us. This is what you not hearing much, when you deal with this. So they'll portray you every version, every group of guys except your melanated guys. They may give you the Nidoru, but they just can't hide the Nidoru. You see what I'm saying? Niggas know who that is. You may get some Anunnaki, but rarely do they talk about the Orisha. Why don't they talk about the Orisha? Because they know the Orisha are the closest to us. So, Sekhmet got her own thing going on in the cosmos. Anu got his own thing going on in the cosmos. But Ogun and Oshun right here with you, right alongside you, as far as, them being natural forces that you can tap into at any given moment. That's the secret to the Orishas, So yeah, and that's why it's Ori. You must rise in consciousness. And all of us, when I say us, I mean our internal Orishan forces, plus your own personal identity will rise in power. You see what I'm saying? Rise in power. And you will even come out this crown and rise up into your Godhead and become one entity, one being, one soul. So there you go. So now in summary, the Orisha are the melanated people's gods and goddesses first and foremost. And everyone else's deities second. You see what I'm saying? Second, because they practice all around the world. So tap into them so they can help you find your way down here in Sheol or the earthly plane. So yeah. So there you go. So use these Orishas, become one with these Orishas, then you become an Orisha. You see what I'm saying? Do your spiritual work. What is the spiritual work? Well, we gonna put it in capitalistic terms. Everybody has a cosmic treasury, right? Or what they call the treasures in heaven, right? And so the more spiritual work you do, the more you generate spiritual currency. And so when you generate that spiritual currency, you do what? You use that spiritual currency to unlock new abilities inside of you and new levels of what? Consciousness. So that's basically what you're doing. Here, you can even use your spiritual talents to generate physical currency. You know, for those who do the work, they charge a fee, which they have every right to do, to generate, to help support themselves with their gifts. So yeah. So there you go. There you go. Any questions? I take questions. Rupert, I thought the Orishas wanted us to worship them. No. No. They don't want you to worship them. They want you to work with them, but they don't want you to worship them. You see what I'm saying? That's a fallacy. That's a lie. The Orishas don't want you to worship them. They want you to work with them to help free as many people, including yourselves, as possible. So we can get this ascension in full throttle. You see what I'm saying? That's what their real objective is. So yeah. You know the question. So you know the question. Margarita, how many are there? Orishas? Hundreds of Orishas. Maybe even a couple of thousand. But I know it's hundreds. Mo Christie, did I find out mines on my own? Baba Loud, who I came across, told me that because I didn't even know you had a guardian Orisha a few years back. He was like, yeah, everybody got a guardian Orisha. And so he was like, yeah, everybody can tap into it. And when he said that energy triggered in my mind. And I said, and the image I seen the image of Shango. Like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I see Shango in my mind's eye. He's like, okay, yeah, that's your guardian Orisha. That's your guardian Orisha then. I'm like, okay. What's up, Star? So any other questions? Rose, do I need to make an offering? Yes, you can make an offer to whichever one you want to. You know, tap in. Jewel, can you reach them through meditation? How do you know which one to look for? Yes, that's why I gave a meditative exercise early in the lecture. You can listen to that for a structured meditative working to help reach them. You see what I'm saying? Connect with them. Any other questions? Teach your ancestral money is used for many things. You can put some ancestral money on your altar to actually help connect with your spiritual currency and ground it into the physical. And that spiritual currency will can translate into physical currency and different shapes, forms, and fashion. You can also burn it for as far as purification, and you can actually do a burning ritual, a purification ritual, which helps eliminate or start the process of eliminating generational curses. So yeah, in your bloodline. Jewel, can you work with more than one? Of course. You can work with as many Orishas as you want to. You can work with as many Orishas as you want to. Uh-oh. Who has been my favorite Orishas to work with? I've worked a lot with, besides Shango, Gunju, Ogun. Let's see who else comes through a lot. Oshun has came through a lot. Oya, you know, I did a lecture on Oya a few times. You know, I'm starting to work with Yemiya now. I just bought some things for her offering, and it was one more, and I'm starting to work with Aye a lot more now too as well. But my favorites, or the ones I've worked with the most, is Gunju. He the Orishan god of fire and volcanoes. Ogun, Shango, Oshun, and Oya. Those have been the big five so far. Mike, is there a key where traditional Christians will glean a thought that'll connect a dot they miss? I don't really understand what you're saying, Michael. Jew, are they similar to the Egyptian gods? In a way, yes. They natural forces, in a way. But the Egyptian gods are a little further away. And of course they still great with working with, but they're a little older. They're way older actually than the Orishas. But yeah, you can work with both. It doesn't matter. See, we live in a world now to where the beauty of this timeline here is you can cross and mix and match different deities. Like you can have Sun Wukong standing right next to Shango. Shango standing right next to Sekhmet. You know, Sekhmet standing right next to Ninti. You see what I'm saying? And there's no friction. There's no you know, in the old days they said that a lot of Orishas and everybody was at war with each other to different houses. That's over with. All that's gone. So you can actually mix and match from different cultures all over the world and create you a whole Jedi council of different deities. Ganesha from the Hindu lineage, or Lopain from the Asian lineage, or even some Greek and Norse gods. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, the Olmecan, don't forget the Olmecan and the Incan and your indigenous deities over here as well. You know, the JoJo, Quetzalcoatl, and the Incan gods. You see what I'm saying? Don't forget them. You can mix and match with all of them now. You don't have to. You're no longer bound to just one group. You can tap into all of them and have all of them lined up as one big Jedi council. You see what I'm saying? From a cross-cultural mythology. You see what I'm saying? Of these beings who you can work with. You know, so I just want to put that on record. So any other questions? Alexis, there are certain ways we can realize the Orisha. Are you asking me, is there certain ways we can connect with them, Alexis? Kara, when working with these spirits, sometimes I'm confused about what to ask when I'm in meditation or connection with them. Can you give some advice on that? Well, sometimes you ain't even got to ask for nothing. You can just work with them just to work with them. You know, Shit, treat them like your homies and homegirls. You know, you can just go and spark up a conversation. And when you spark up that conversation, maybe the questions that you need to ask will pop up in your head. Sometimes you need to do that, because I used to have that problem too. Like, what do I ask a deity for real? For like, what do you really ask them? You know, other than for material shit and stuff like that. What do you really ask them? You know, and later on I realized, like, nah, treat them like they're your homies and homies, and just strike up a conversation with them, and you'll realize that the questions will naturally come to you during the conversation. So yeah, hope that helps. Yes, Paris. The Egyptian the Egyptian guys actually came out of Nubia. Nubia is way Nubia is millions of years old. So yeah, Nubia. They don't talk about ancient Nubia because that's when like Africa or Alkebulan or was really uh booming. You know, but changing of the cycles, ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet was needed because they needed those record keepers. And so they transferred over the energy from Nubia to ancient Kemet / Egypt. You see what I'm saying? But they was actually still the same people for the most part. There you go, Paris. They are real. Don't let these motherfuckers say it's just imagination. You know, we've been taught that just because it's an imaginative image that is not real. That's bullshit. Matter of fact, your imagination is more realer than this plane. Because shit here is subject to determination. Guys ain't going nowhere. Deities ain't going nowhere. You feel me? Nobody's going anywhere. So yes, it's very real. It's very real. You don't believe me? Matter of fact, put it like this: you done prayed to ask Jesus to come see you a million times. That nigga probably ain't showed up. You asked for Papa Leg Bar to show up. He coming. You ask for Heru to show up. He coming. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yimmy y'all, she coming. That's one thing about our deities. They show up. They pull up around here. They pull up. Alright? So they can say whatever they want about the old guys. Them niggas pull up. Alright? They pull up. Now these one God religions, I ain't seen Allah yet. I ain't seen Jesus yet. I ain't seen Moses don't really count. He's supposed to be the prophet. So yeah, but I ain't really seen them. But I done seen the old guys. Them niggas pulled up multiple times. All right, so I can testify that them motherfuckers will pull up. I can't testify that Jesus and everybody gonna show up. I ain't seen that nigga yet. You see what I'm saying? Nigga ain't pulled up yet. Ogun pulled up. So yeah, Babalu Aye done pulled up. So yeah, just when you walk the path, you see what works and what don't work. Who show up and who don't. And so yeah, I was in Christian for 19 years. I ain't seen Jesus yet, and I'm 31 now. Oh yeah, Bhagavan. The Orishas is old now. I ain't saying that they ain't old, but they asked me who was older, the ancient Egyptian deities or the Orishas. Nah, the ancient Egyptian motherfuckers been around 50, 100,000, 200,000 years. Because really, the ancient Egyptian deities was just transposed from Nubia, was been around for millions of years. So, So any other question before I roll out? I wanted to really make this a big Q&A about them. I know a lot of people be having questions about the Orishas. So I really want to clear up a lot of things. That's why I'm dedicating a lot more time to the Q&A today. Roses, is it important to call them by name? Yes. I mean, you don't want nobody messing up your name, so of course, you practice. Now, the cool thing is they have many names. They have multiple names, so Legul ain't the strongest name. Legbar, Shu, they have multiple versions of their name. So, just pick the one that you resonate with the most. Yeah. I got a phone call. Yeah, pick the ones that you resonate with the most and work with it. What's up, nigga? So, are there any more questions before I roll? Station, much appreciated. Gary, whoever the window reacher that's oil is combining 3 storms as we speak as big as 500 miles wide apiece. That's almost 1,500 miles. Oh yeah, oil don't fuck around. Especially not now. They doing a lot of work right now to let you know that they here for you to tap into them. Time for y'all to come back home. Back to your indigenous deities, not just them. A lot of them, like the Native American deity and American gods. He told Shadow, you got a powerful destiny. But notice he wanted to talk to just him without interrupting. He said, yeah, you got a powerful destiny now. But you got to choose which path you take. You see what I'm saying? You got to choose. So we have powerful destinies down here right now. So you got to have to choose who you're going to work with and what you're going to do. So half the battle is knowing what your objectives and missions are down here. Whether you be a healer, whether you be a mystic or magi, whether you be a scion or a Jedi, whatever your gift is, now's the time to tap in, because the world is changing very rapidly. Paris, which one is over the sea? That would be Yemiya. It would be Yemiya. There you go, Bhagavan. People need to know where their power is. Yeah, so yeah, you're going to see a lot of natural phenomena. The volcanoes are Gunju, the storms are Shango and Oya. The wind, the tornadoes and everything is Oya. So yeah, the warfare is Ogun. They pretty much trying to get your attention, like, yo, wake up, come back home. You see what I'm saying? Come back home. It's about that time now. You can't be fucking around out here no more without no spiritual protection, without tapping into your internal forces. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. See, I'm gonna tell y'all, American Gods, the biggest mistake Shadow Moon made is the nigga wasn't studying. He wasn't studying who was who. He was just going off pure instinct, and pure instinct got him sacrificed. If the nigga had just took time out his day to study and ask questions, then he would have been straight to find out who these beings are and what they trying to do, and so he didn't even know that he had a choice between, the different groups. He thought they was all one thing, and he found out that we are all one bullshit. Get you sacrificed around here. Nah, my nigga, there's a group for us, there's a group for them. Everybody got their thing down here. The East Indians got the Hindu gods, the Asians got the Asian gods, the Europeans got their gods, and then us indigenous Americans, the American Nagas, the Africans, the South American Afro-Latinos, and all the Caribbeans, we got our guys. You see what I'm saying? Everybody got their thing. Everybody got they gifts and people that they fuck with. So yeah, so don't make that same mistake Shadow Moon did. Study up on these beings. Get you some books. Get in contact with people that know about this. Whatever you need to do to get your education on who these beings are, and then you can tap into them to the best of your abilities. So yeah. Any other questions? What's up, Jesus? Any other questions about the Orishas before I roll out? Now, a lot of people ask me, are they vengeful? Yeah, you mistreat them, they're going to mistreat you. Just like you mistreat your friend, they're going to mistreat you. So, yeah, you come in respect. You come in respect. You respect them, they respect you. You work with them, they're going to work with you. But if you treat them like shit, they're going to treat you like shit. That's balance. Any other questions before I roll out? Malik, we discussing Orishas. Well, if y'all ain't got no other questions, I'm about to roll on out. Marv Jones, y'all put the word out. Share this with your friends. Let them know what's going on. Okay, share this with your friends. Let them know what it is. If you want to check out my other lectures, you can always hit me up at YouTube at the Melinated Order. You want to purchase Dr. York books or The Sacred Chants, hit me up, message me or email me. And you just want to donate and support, you can Cashapp me at mcjnetwork. And I'm out.